Sir, before we discuss the larger picture and the years and decades of ethnic fault lines that exist in Manipur, I want your reaction, sir, to what the Supreme Court of India has said today. It is widely believed that the Manipur High Court's directive is what triggered the violence in Manipur. Today, the Supreme Court is saying it is really not in the domain of the High Court to determine whether an ST status can be granted at all. This should be decided by the President of India. What do you think, sir, really needs to be done at this point in time, and whose failure do you think it has been in recent days that resulted in the kind of violence that we've seen in Manipur?
Now, the basic issue is that this problem that exists in Manipur, it has been there for a very, very long time. There has been the strongest militant group of the PLA, which essentially is a group formed by the Meiteis. And the problem has been there for a long time because of the reasons that Meiteis feel that they are the Hindus of the original inhabitants of the Manipur, who have been, in a sense, invaded by the migrant Kukis, who are generally in the area of Churachandpur. It's a majority Kuki area. Then there are Nagas who are in the areas of Ukhrul and Senapati. So these are the areas, actually districts of the Manipur, where the Nagas and Kukis are inhabiting these areas, because of which there has been a discontentment for a very, very long time. And to express that against these migrants and these people, there have been very strong militant groups formed by the PLA. Now, the problem is that whatever may have happened or whatever may have triggered the issue now, it was waiting to happen. And somebody should have been actually expecting this, that any such change of status is likely to create the heartburn one way or the other. Kukis, as of now, initially, although they were not in majority, but Kuki, as of now, appear to be a larger chunk, occupying the land as well as their population. And this also keeps causing heartburns to the Meiteis. Right now, we have a situation, though this situation is being avoided, but we have a chief minister who belongs to a Meitei group and a DGP who is a Kuki group. This also is being some ways blamed for the way this whole process has taken off. Because initially there was just burning of one odd house in the area of Churachandpur. The next day, Kukis burned a very revered temple on one of the hills in More area. That created a further anger amongst the Meiteis, and the backlash, as expected, went through. And right now the situation is that although by and large the cities, particularly the city of Imphal, is quite safe, and the columns of the army, Assam Rifles, as well as police, which includes the state police and the CRPF, they have got hold of the situation. There is a joint operational control room that has been formed, which is working directly under the chief minister, and an advisor from the CRPF, retired DGP, Mr. Kuldeep Singh, has also been appointed. So I do hope that, as expressed by the Supreme Court, the first concern that the law and order must prevail, the first concern that the life and property of the people of the area need to be protected, and those who have been displaced, they need to be rehabilitated on priority. I hope with these actions, a situation will come under control very soon. Because I would like to state that the people of Manipur, as I have had occasion to serve there for many years, they are very well disciplined and they are very sensible as well.
Right.
So this kind of a senseless violence which has been happening over the last couple of days, it's a basically power play between the Kukis, Nagas, and the Meiteis. Kukis are wanting to take Nagas on their side because Nagas and Kukis are the Christians, right? Christians, and Meiteis are the Hindus. Kukis have tried to give it a color of religion,
Right.
from this point
Right.
of view, but Nagas are not biting this particular logic, and
Right,
they are
fair
not
enough,
part
sir.
of
But
the
either way, Nagas and the Cookies are the hill people, whereas the Meiteis are the plains people. That is the that there is a fundamental difference in these two groupings, so to speak. But my question to you is: since you've served there for so long, they
Yeah.
say that the kind of violence that broke out in Manipur this time around is unprecedented. It's the worst that it's ever been. What do you think was the lapse that led to this? Because it's all being taken back to that Manipur High Court order, which allows the state government of Manipur to consider giving ST status to the Meitei community. Now, they say that that High Court order, the situation before and after, was not managed properly, and that's the reason why we have a situation that we do have on our hands at the moment.
You see, I will not have the precise input to say as to who should be blamed or who should not be. But the issue that I'm trying to say is that while High Court order may have just provided a bit of a trigger, the discontentment or the feeling of between the Maitis and the Cookies that these are the outsiders and they are encroaching on our land and our jobs and other things. If I remember it right, the Cookies are already in the reserved group and they have got a lot of reservations already, which is helping them well. They are the most prosperous lot. They also fall in the lost tribes of the Jews, and therefore some of the Cookies also have found the way. They are serving in the Israelis' defense forces. So I have reasons to believe that Cookies and Maitis have been having this heartburn with each other for a long, long time, because Maitis always felt themselves to be original people. They felt themselves to be more prosperous. They felt that Cookies should not be getting prosperous and more empowered right under their nose. And right now,
Right.
basically, it's to do with the land, control of the land. Like
Yes.
you mentioned, yes, Cookies are majority by and large in the hills, but then there are a lot of spillover of the Cookie population in the plains also. So Cookies are looking at the control of the land which they are holding, and I do not know if they are looking for kind of a hill district status wherein they start governing their land and their areas all by themselves, and not to form part of the overall state of the Manipur, because those undercurrents have also been seen off and on. So this problem is rather more complex, and the state administration is more competent to see that
Yes.
whether the situation has been continuously monitored
Yes.
and whether this point of trigger has been correctly assessed. The way things have happened, I don't think so. It has happened, but all the way same. Now that the people have woken up to the realities on the ground, I'm sure the situation will come under control the soonest.
Absolutely, and you're quite right, sir, in pointing out that this is all about control of land and other resources. The centre, of course, has told the Supreme Court the situation is returning to normal, but we will have to keep our fingers crossed, because at best this is a fragile peace that is holding in Manipur. Lieutenant General Roy also making another very interesting point, that the DGP of Manipur is a Kuki and the Chief Minister N. Biren Singh is a Meitei, and this may have contributed somewhat to the mishandling of the situation that we've seen.